You know what? Let's go to the animal facts section
Did
now.
you know that a snake has
No.
5 hearts?
This is it's true or false. I'll give
Okay.
you a true or false.
Okay.
Is it true or false? Oh no, which one I want to give you?
How long does it take you to research this stuff, by the way? I picture
not too
you
much. That's why we have
sitting on your phone,
sometimes,
Googling,
but that's why we have a team. My guy
strange
Tony here,
facts to
everybody.
use on a
The
podcast.
facts they're gonna. So that I want you to get it wrong, but someone wants.
Oh, you want me to get it wrong? Okay. So even if I know the answer, I'll pretend like I don't.
No.
Go ahead. Hit me up.
No.
Hit me up.
So okay, is it true or false that 90% of eagles' diet, like eagles, right?
Yeah, I've seen them.
Diet, it's rodents and like mice and squirrels.
That's true.
It's actually false.
It's false.
Yeah, the most of the diets of eagles are fish. You know, have you ever seen National Geographic? They go to like lakes or rivers.
But so is it the 10% that are like rodents and?
Yeah, 10% of it they're like fish.
Huh.
What
I like fish.
What do
Can't
you
hold
call
that
when
against
you?
them.
Yeah. What do you call somebody who eats only fish?
Pescatarian.
Pescatarian. They're pescatarian. Wasn't that? Yep.
Eagles are pescatarians.
Yeah.
The more you
Quote
know
that.
on
Click that,
analysis.
please. Yes. Let me give you another one. I'll give you another one. Hold up. Okay, is it true or false that gorillas aren't physically able to burp?
So that is not the direction I thought you were going. I'm thinking can't rip out trees or whatever. Can't burp.
Can't burp.
That threw me for a curve. I'm gonna say that they can burp. So
Yeah. So it's false.
So it's
So
false.
you pick false. Oh,
Yeah.
So you're right. You're good.
Because
You're
it
right.
was such
it's
an
false
odd
because
question that
because when a gorilla burps, it's actually a sign of happiness.
Is that right?
Yeah, when they're happy, they just burp all the time.
Wow. Huh.
All right.
So can I get away with that if the next time, instead of saying excuse me or someone else, I'll just say hey.
Okay, I don't know if it works for us, but I know it works for them. And when they burp, they're happy. So, okay, so it's 1-1. Okay, let's
Okay.
tiebreaker.
Okay. Do you
Need
always
one.
give 3 to your guess?
I give 3, but sometimes if it's 3-0, I'll give them more. I need to win one,
Oh, okay.
so I'll give them more if it's
Okay.
3-0.
But you know the answer, so I don't.
Yeah, I
understand
do
that.
know the answer. That's
But
the
it's
whole
not.
thing.
So it's not real competition. I'm
It
just
is
pointing that
competition,
out
but
to
it's
you.
my podcast. I can
okay.
just make the rules. Okay, so is it true or false that only the half of a dolphin's brain sleeps at a time?
False.
It's actually true.
It's true.
Yeah, only half of it sleeps at a time.
What's the other half doing?
It stays awake to be alert for predators.
Wow.
See, so they just sleep like this.
Yeah. Do you know how
Crazy.
much more productive humans could be if they operated in the same way? Like
Way-
half
way
the
more.
time you could be awake, get some work done, but then the other half of
You
your brain
sleep.
is sleeping. So you
So
knock
I
2 birds out with 1 stone.
Yeah, I love sleep in general, but for some reason I don't know why, I'm more productive when I'm running on adrenaline. I don't know why. Like if I'm tired, like I just really zero in and focus. I don't know. Some people are like that. I don't know. You find some people who be like, I want to sleep 4 hours a day. You're like, how are you doing
Kind of
this?
like that, I guess.
Some
Like when
people-
you got a lot going on,
Yeah, some
and,
people
and you
just-
got to be focused. You have no choice. That's
Yeah.
why. You have no
And
choice
then
to
you
wander.
see other people just like all day, like they sleep all day, and then it's 1 a.m. They're like, "What are you doing?" I'm doing real estate. I'm working on my what? What are you doing? I'm looking at houses. I'm looking at plots. I can't talk to you right now. It's 1 a.m. Why are you not asleep?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not saying I'm one of those people, but like, yeah, I can see why people are like that though.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So okay. So if you didn't do your job now, what would you want to be if you wasn't a
Good question.
plays,
I'd be
most
one of
call
2
games?
things. I'd either be a lawyer or I'd be a basketball coach.
basketball coach?
Yeah. So my dad was my high school basketball coach.
Oh, okay.
And always grew up loving it. And there was actually a time
Yes.
that I was clearly making a decision between broadcaster, basketball coach.
Yeah.
And I went to a college coach at
Yeah.
the time and expressed my desires. And so it was Susie Merchant, actually at Michigan State. I haven't really told this story, but shout out to Susie. At the time, and she said, "Hey, you know what? Just come in and watch film with us. Like, see what we can do, and if this is something that you want to do, you'll get a taste of it, right? So I had to make a decision. But then I decided to go broadcasting because I decided this. I felt like if I made the wrong choice returning into the basketball world, whether it be director of operations or something like that, that would be easier for me to circle back than in broadcasting. You know, like broadcasting is kind of a hard thing to get into sometimes. Yeah. So I just said, you know what? I just felt like I wasn't making a lot of money. I was working a lot of hours. Yeah. I just felt like, you know what? I could be close in broadcasting. I just want to give it a few more years. And
boom.
I gave it a few more years, and
I've
never looked back.
It's okay, but why lawyer?
I like to argue.
You like to argue?
Yeah.
No.
I wanted to be like in court and presenting cases.
Give me a scene. Give me a court scene. Give me something.
Well, shoot, like criminal cases would just get, all the nitty gritty that you get into that. But I think I just would love, it would have to be, something involving the jury. Because I would just love the presentation of it,
objection.
Yeah, exactly.
Sustained.
Right. Perfect.
And then you do your thing and the explanation why and the evidence.
All the time.
So I know for sure you watch.
I was a debater,
Debater.
Yeah. I took debate in high school. Did oratory. They had this thing called forensics where you could do all these different things. And so I was in oratory. Yes. I had to memorize an 8-minute speech and present it. Okay. I ended up winning the state championship, my first year. I didn't even know what I was doing, but convinced enough people that I knew what I was doing in my speech and all that stuff. The speech was called A Comeback Kid. And it was all these different examples of people who came back after adversity. Yeah. And so I've always wanted to present, a case or a speech or something like that. It's always just kind of in my blood. So that's where the lawyer thing.
So what's been the most difficult thing? Different parts of either your life or now with the NBA or
being on the Thanalysis show.
Is it difficult? No, it's not. Don't listen to her, man. It's the best. No, it's
not. I think it's I'm reminded that I'm one of the few female broadcasters in the NBA.
You are a pioneer though. One of the first female
Yeah. And so I understand that. I don't think about it during games. You know, when you put on your headset. You're thinking about just being a broadcaster. And I've always said I want to eliminate the adjectives first and female, the first female broadcaster to do this. But there's always a doubt. There's always criticism. There's always that. And no matter what I'm doing with the NBA, or I mentioned the NCAA tournament for men's college basketball, there's always something, And so when you talk about being focused and putting the blinders on, that's what I have to do. I have to be focused and put the blinders on and just really listen to, I got great advice, the NASA's one time, where, those little sticky notes that are about this big, that you can put on and remind yourself of things. And so someone said, look, if you can't fit the person's name on that sticky note, then they don't matter. Then don't listen to them, And so you can appreciate, just keep your circle tight.
Yeah.
And listen to the people who give you real feedback. But that was, I think, when I started to do football and started to find myself in spaces where there aren't a whole lot of female broadcasters. I think that was tough, because it was tough to not listen to the criticism. But here's also the deal. You shouldn't listen to all the hype, too, because it can be equally as dangerous. Yeah. If you're listening to both sides, everyone thinks, with social media, you're listening to the negativity or whatever. But the positivity, if you dive into that can be equally as paralyzing as listening to the negativity. 100%. So I think focusing on the things I need to focus on as the jobs get bigger, the stage gets bigger was a huge challenge for me.
You know what you said about the socials too, diving in the positive and the negative. I don't think people be on social media be like, oh my God, look at this negative stuff, and people keep saying no, just listen to the positive. But it doesn't work that way. You should just be even.
Yeah.
When they tell me, oh my God, you're so bad, then I'm like, okay, I'm not really that bad. But then when they tell you, oh my God, you're so good, I'm not really that good. I'm okay. Just be in the middle. It's like eating. Have you ever noticed when you eat something sweet all the time and then you try something that's salty, you feel saltier than what it actually is. No, seriously. It's the same thing. If you eat something salty, if I go there now and eat spice and salty, and then I eat something like a dessert, it's going to feel sweeter than it actually is. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of the same.
Look, we all know what we did right.
Yeah.
And we all know what we did wrong. So you don't, like, Giannis doesn't need Bucks fan 0536 on, you know, X or social media or Instagram to tell him what he did right or wrong, you know?
Yeah.
And if he needs some advice, or if he needs some encouragement, or if he needs to see something out of his own box, what does he do? He turns to you, he turns to his coaches, he turns to his support system. And so it's
Or
the same
inward,
thing.
or inward, be like, hey, what am I doing bad?
Yeah.
You know, self reflective somehow.
You don't need someone you don't know to tell you you're doing a great job, or you need to improve in this way.
It's fans. I mean, you have a lot of fans. You know, like, what do you like? How do you handle? Like, have you ever had a fun interaction with your fans, or?
You know, they're like, when you walk the concourse level,
Yeah.
like before games, it's like, sometimes, I don't know if you feel the same way, but you forget like who you are, right?
Yeah.
And like, cause you're just, you know, you're thinking about the job you got to do that day, or like on game day or something. Maybe I'm running to the restroom or something like that, you know? And so there's fans that will scream out to you, you know? And it's just, I am the person on TV that never wants, that like didn't get into TV to be recognized or to be known.
Yeah.
Like, I just got into it because I love it, you know, and I'm passionate about it. And so, yeah, anytime I hear, like, I love it. Bucks fans, I love it. You know, I love talking to you because you get the fan perspective, which I appreciate. But it's still a little weird when someone's, you know, yelling out Thanasis or Lisa or Giannis, or you just have a different level of that. But
no, but I understand what you mean. But like,
you know what means a lot to me, to answer your question?
Wow.
You know, we talk about being a female broadcaster, and everyone immediately translates to, you can make an impact for a lot of little girls out there, you know? And so there was actually, but I always say, I want to make an impact for some of the little boys too that are watching, because that's how you normalize it. If you're a little boy or you're a little girl and you're watching a Bucks game and you hear my voice, and that's what you know, and you're not thinking, oh, like gender-wise, oh, that's a woman calling the game, or that's a man calling the game. That's when we make progress. When you start becoming background noise and you don't start thinking, who's that female announcer calling the game? No, you become a role model.
You can become a great person for a role model. You know,
and it's just an announcer. It's you know what it is? It's an announcer calling the game. So one of those concourse meetings with a fan was to introduce his son, who loved me. You know, and that to me meant something, because now it's important. It's important to reach all kinds of fans, right? But it's important to reach the little girl, and I am not minimizing that at all. But to have a little boy who's like 9 or 10 years old and saying, I love listening to you on Bucks games, that's, to me, that meant a lot. And that to me, you knew you were making progress with things.
So, okay. So you're not entertaining, and that's when he likes and loves you. But let's say, like, what is your, you know, for somebody who hasn't listened to you, because a lot of people would watch this from everywhere and might not listen. Maybe it's the first time they see you actually on the show. Maybe you never know. But people who listen to you, what is your phrase? Like, let's say Mike Green has the bang, three, bang. You know, like, what's your kind of,
I love if you get like a strong and one. I do like a body bucket and one kind of thing. I love that.
Okay.
I'll try to throw that in like at least once a game. You know, Mike's bang is his thing.
He's legendary. You know? That's legendary.
Wayne Larrivee with the Packers dagger. That's another thing.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And so I don't have anything like that. But here's what I like is that I like also announcers who keep it authentic and unique each game winner or each highlight thing, you know, because it sounds different, right? If you put all together like your highlights and stuff, it's not going to be the same thing over and over again that you're hearing. It's going to be something unique and different to that moment or that player. Yeah.
I think, but I think some point, because you're so talented and so entertaining too, like, I think some point, like, you're gonna say something and people are gonna like,
you got something for me?
No, I don't, but like, I'm not there yet.
You got some options?
Let me think. I'm not joking. I got you. Let me think. But you're gonna say something and people are gonna be like, I don't know, they're gonna go ballistic on Twitter one time, and then I think you're gonna say it every time after that. For some place, not every time, because I don't think he says bang every time. He does
not. No, I'm not. And then I'm not saying Mike Breen says it.
Yeah, no, but Mike Breen, but
sometimes he says it twice.
Yeah.
That's when you know you have a killer play.
That's how you know you have a good game, when you like,
bang,
they shoot
bang.
a three, they play deep, they got another steal, fast break, shoot another three.
Yeah.
You know, but I think that got stuck from the finals, from the playoffs. You know, I think he stuck. Like, we got to give you that. You know, you here, we got to get.
It's got to be authentic.
Yeah.
It's got to be authentic.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. We'll see that. So, you know, I know you said you've talked before about the fans and everything, but I don't want to, you know, I mean, I have respect for your time, and I don't want to like end the show like this. But like, what is something that keeps you going every day? What is something that you tell yourself, or maybe it could be a quote, or it could be a story of you, or what is something that motivates you every day to be your best version of yourself?
That's a great question. You know, I always tell people, don't let someone's no be your no. Okay. Meaning, like, we're all going to get rejections. We're all going to get no's. We're all going to get something like a job that we want, or making a sports team, and we're going to be told that we're not good enough, you know? Yeah. And so it has happened to me before, but you just truly believe in something for yourself. And if you're passionate about something, I never let someone else's no be my own no. So I just kept going. And, you know, whether it's a straight path, sometimes it's A to B, and sometimes it's more, you know, circular. Yeah. And sometimes you have to take a couple steps back, right, to move forward. But that to me is what keeps me going.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it's dope. Don't let nobody else's no be your no. You heard that? Mrs. Lisa here. Oh my God. Okay, now we're going to another end of the show. This is my worst part, actually.
This is the worst part?
Yeah, because I don't want to end the show, but people got stuff to do. So, thank you guys for listening. Thank you for watching. You know, please follow Lisa on your socials.
Lisa Byington. It's real easy.
On Twitter X / X.
Yep.
On Instagram. I don't know. Do you have TikTok? Do you have the other stuff, or?
I haven't gotten into the other stuff.
Okay,
it's too much. It's too much. It's too much.
Okay. Yeah, but please follow her. She's amazing. When this episode come out, please go and spam her comments and stuff like that with Thanalysis. We came from Thanalysis, etc. But again, thank you. Can't thank you guys so much. Like, you guys have been amazing. If you guys want to watch the show, YouTube, Thanalysis Show. If you guys want to subscribe, please share, you know, comment, positive, negative. Feedback is always amazing. And if you want to listen to it, we're available in every podcast, every platform. Wherever you get your podcast from, we're there, you know. Let's run it up. I wish you guys a great summer. And see you guys next week, Tony. Next week. Ciao. Analysis is recorded at No Studios, Milwaukee's creative hub and production studio.